nose guard. Don't tell me what it takes to tackle somebody. I know what it takes. And it takes a whole lot more than just tangling them up. You got to grab them and hold on, because some of those suckers are so strong.
Okay.
They are so strong. They drag you down the field. I went up against, when I was in college, we played the freshmen. That was when freshmen couldn't play varsity. I don't know if you knew that, but at one time,
I don't follow football at
there
all.
was no such thing as redshirting. Freshmen couldn't play. They had to play on the freshman squad, and they played other freshmen. And we were playing the Tennessee freshmen. And Reg Jellicourt, who was an All-American center later, he wasn't then. He was the freshman on the center squad, on the freshman. He was the center on the freshman squad. And I came up against that guy, and he was about 6'3" at the time. I think he topped out at 6'4", and probably weighed 220 or 230. Mm-hmm. Well, I thought I was pretty big. I was short, but I weighed 265 in college. And that guy could snap that ball and hit me, because I was the nose guard. Do you know what a nose guard is? It's a guy who stands right across from the center of the defense.
Okay. He
could snap that ball and hit me before I could get off my stand.
Wow.
And I didn't understand how in the world.
I'm getting educated on football.
How in the world are you coming up so quick?
Which clearly I know nothing about.
But anyway, so he goes up there and interviews this guy in an ice fishing cabin.
Ice fishing cabin?
Yeah.
We always just sat out on the ice. We weren't rich enough to have a cabin.
You should have seen this cabin. It was.
We just sat on the ice. We never drove on the ice. And we dug our hole with an ice pick. And
the guineas were back out there.
I'm learning wonderful things this morning.
If you want to learn it, well, of course, I don't do cold anymore.
Yeah.
For a lot of reasons. But anyway, back in the day, you dressed properly and you chippy your feet.
Did you have down clothing at that point?
No.
Oh, dear. That's a lot of layers of wool then.
Down came along.
So you walked like this, right? You walked like this?
And if you got them wet, ooh, they smell like old.
We are present.
Oh, yes, that's the only problem with wool. As much as I like wool, if you get it wet,
Yeah.
it does smell funny. And so do you. You realize, of course, that your conversation is being heard out in the parking lot.
No, I didn't.
Great.
I didn't realize that until one time I was down here at another meeting.
Is it already going out?
And there's a speaker right outside the door. And so you can hear the conversations going on in here, which is fun.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I need a couple signatures from you.
Oh, you do?
Yep, I do.
We can do this. I know we're short with one member today.
Okay, UPS store, what we have is one of their little
I trust you.
receipts.
Tell me where to sign.
Right there. And then if you go down, and this one is 3 hours for web design. Actually, I think I do.
You probably do.
Our web designer has reemerged and he's ready to work.
Good.
Yeah. Who is that? Jeff Hudson. He works for AB Tech, and he also has a private business. Nice. And he has been doing work for Landcare for years at a very much reduced rate. And he's still doing that for us. Very nice. And we're at the point where the website needs to be redesigned, and we need our committee, and it's unclear that we'll even have our committee present today. Whatever.
I know. Beth will not be here. As far as I know, Kathy will be here.
George, as a matter of principle, I never mind having
Oh, you?
another set of eyes. I got it.
Oh,
I
I forgot you had multiple copies.
Yeah.
I should know that by now.
George, I'm up to 3. I need 2 more, and I jumped on Kathy about it. She said last time that she was going to go online and register. So,
Good. Well, you did get, I sent you an email.
right, you sent me an email.
Okay.
Copy.
Hello.
Here she is.
Good morning, how are you doing?
I signed up.
Send me your certificate.
Okay.
Yeah, just
Will do.
email me your certificate.
Okay.
Good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Well, I just need you, and I'll have it.
I happened to be in Nashville yesterday and ended up at this location,
Oh,
the National Foundation was in Nashville. And I knew that we were trying to source one, so I grabbed that.
oh, good.
I don't know who's going to be in charge of sourcing it, but
I don't know, what do you mean?
weren't we going to source one for planting in Montreal?
Getting
Yes.
getting a plant.
Yes. I
That
figured-
was the plan, and that's,
Get Ed on that? Or?
Ed's supposed to do it.
Okay. Well, I can save it for him for next week if you want.
Yeah,
I
let's
just
do
didn't
that.
know even who's leading that charge.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Morning, how are you doing?
Hello, everybody.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hey, George.
Good morning.
Happened to
How are
be
you?
at this location yesterday. There in Nashville.
Thank you.
Our web designer is back. If you're not too jammed, it's time for us to look at templates.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good.
He's given us 3 hours worth of updates already, and he's ready to hear us once we're ready to tell him
I
what.
already knew the
Okay.
answer.
So I don't remember who else was supposed to be on our little subcommittee.
Did we get anybody else?
Okay.
I mean, did we get anyone else?
I thought maybe Dottie, but Dottie's not with us anymore, so that doesn't work. Martha Sloan probably doesn't have time, but she probably would
It's
have a
hard
good
to
eye for
know
web.
what their schedule is.
I wonder if Elizabeth Clay went.
I don't think I know Elizabeth Clay.
She is on the tree and she's on
morning.
the plant sales subcommittee.
Okay.
She came once, remember when we
You filled in
met
to the bottom of the kids in the parks situation.
Okay, good. I saw some new things in the thing.
one time?
They were
I
given
think
to
she
me
came
one
to
day
that
last
meeting,
week.
just as like an observer. And she's new, was interested.
It was the
So,
college
she
that
might.
was involved
Okay.
I can
in
reach out to
getting
her.
this thing.
So
So
that's, especially as a newcomer, having a sense of, what would somebody be looking for?
before Josh's time.
Yeah,
makes
exactly.
sense. Sounds right.
And it was the lady,
Dots?
Dottie, who was primarily responsible. Backpacks at the college library.
Yes.
And it's very clear in going through the history, you never really had anything to do with it.
Other than some of the brochures were kept.
Which
I
get?
ended up,
Yeah, I ended up with the keeper of some brochures for some reason.
Oh,
You know, and
nice.
people
They
were like,
just
well,
came
why
out
don't you
with
keep
them
them back?
this
Why don't
year.
you keep the brochures? Why? I said,
So
I
is
don't
that
have the
a plug
space.
in?
That's how
No, it's not
it's
just,
just-
you're not doing that yet. It's just integrated.
And,
took me a while
But-
to sort it through.
yeah, no.
The thing that's
if
wonderful about it, in every
we
way,
ever
it's
managed
a
to get
Forester.
a bigger
It's
space,
a whole-wheel
I
drive,
would be happy to
good
do
visibility,
And that's what I have, I love it.
yeah. And the extra electric juice at the low end
Yeah.
fixes something that's been a Subaru problem forever.
Yeah.
Is what?
You get more juice when you first hit the gas.
Yeah.
It didn't make a sports car out of it.
Right.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
does fill in that little,
Get you out of the way.
I love my Forester, but yeah. better now.
Box in my garage.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. Well,
That is good to know.
Wish my garage were bigger.
I still have some of those things too, so.
What was the name of that other person? It went right out of my head.
Elizabeth Clay.
Well, I
Okay.
have, I gotta say.
Excuse me, no,
I have
Clay is
the
her
unpopular
husband, Elizabeth
The
Hamilton.
ones that, you know.
Hamil.
Some of them, you put them out, they
HAMILTON.
disappear in a
Ah.
matter of
Yeah,
weeks.
Hamilton.
Some of them just sit there. And so I've got some of the ones that.
I'll
are
just
being
put a
taken
question
care of
mark
last.
by her.
At least the box is replenished.
And then I sit there and watch, and there's a lot of, someone comes to Montreat, never been here before. They just take things from the
Yes.
box because they don't know what it is, and it's like, well,
Yeah. And those things are expensive.
yeah. I had a sign up there for a while trying to explain what this is, and like, oh, these aren't maps. If you need maps, go to these places, But that disappeared at some point. I guess we can print another one, laminate it and get it. Yeah.
Particularly if you still have that one on your.
Maybe.
Crank it in.
Maybe. Yeah, I think we're almost a few minutes.
Oop, it is. And we have a
Hello.
forum.
I'm
Good
gonna
morning.
call Hani after this and try to, it's hard to get through to her on her phone too, but I'm gonna try.
We have a quorum.
Yeah.
Did we have
Lainey, she had a voice message
the
saying.
day posted or printed out?
But
I'm sorry?
Did we have today's meeting printed out? I was looking for it here.
yeah, it's been 10 days since I emailed her at this point, or more.
In Montreat, somewhere in Montreat.
Yeah, no, so then, yeah, it's been 2 weeks since I emailed her, 'cause I emailed her, I think that evening, so.
After the storm, one of our neighbors said, I can't go anywhere and see anybody. He said, the post office is closed and the liquor store's closed.
Guinea.
They'll reopen the liquor store, I guarantee you.
Actually, that's a wild turkey. That's a wild turkey right there.
I had a wild turkey at my house the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a hen.
Yeah, I go in there every, rare, but I go in.
She bullied all the deer, and then she sat on my railing for a while.
Now she's looking in the Landcare committee.
Yeah.
Maybe,
How common are they around here? I've only seen one
I've seen a
once
lot more in
before.
Asheville. I think they're very common in the greater Swananoa Valley. I don't see them up here. Yeah, I don't see them in Montreat as much, but they are here, obviously.
Yeah, I've seen them before.
Yeah, but yeah, we have fewer than they do west of here by even just a few miles.
The interesting thing to me was that I had some food out for the deer, which they clean up very nicely. She pecked it a little bit, and then she spent her time looking for bugs in the leaves. She really was not interested in prepared food.
Kathy's gone to see if we have printed agendas.
I don't know if I need to be there, Brianna. I need to swing by with you when we go to, after this, go to Tanner's. Sure, yeah. We'll figure that out.
I guess we could go ahead and proceed with our moment of silence. It seems to be what we have going on anyway.
Sorry about that. Look at you, you're so on it.
Yeah, Yeah, we still have a printer at home.
Thank you.
This is for Angie, asked me to give that to you.
Oh, good, thank you. Okay, so we have an agenda. We've had our moment of silence in your absence. We do have a quorum. And so are there any questions about the May minutes that you received a couple of weeks ago?
Need a motion to approve.
Yes.
Motion to approve minutes.
And a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Treasurer's report, Jean.
Okay. We are working without an official town report so far. They're in the midst of audit.
Is that my phone?
Maybe not.
It was.
Hello, hello. Just pull it close.
Hello, hello? Okay. All right.
It's on.
All right. The town is in the midst of audit, so our report has not risen to top priority, but very little has changed. We had another donation. We had an expense of about $2,400 for a new survey on the Flat Creek Crossing area. We have a printing expense going in today for about $84 to replenish the supply of Jim Williamson's cards that will be sold on October 18th at Made in Montreat. Our website designer has reemerged, so we have a $180 charge for updates to the website. And that means we need to assemble our website review committee because we are ready for redesign. The rest of it can wait for a Flat Creek Crossing update, I think. We're solvent. We are about to begin work on Flat Creek Crossing that will continue to cost some money. We are heading into the project, in theory at least, 17% short of what we need for basic construction. But I think we will get through it okay because we may have some help from the town discussing it, unofficial, but it will be match if we do. And the project has changed a bit. The bank is narrower, therefore less material will be needed for the path to the water. And we can do less material for the path to the water because the town has decided, since Rainbow Bridge was the only one that held through the hurricane passable, that they do not need to have a vehicle usable ford across that creek right there anymore. So that's a big help.
Any questions? Town of Montreat.
We have public comments?
She's out of town.
We've got public comments before.
Okay, I see that now. Public comments. Ed?
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ed Kramer. I live at 134 Canal Drive.
You know what? I'm sorry. Let me get you a mic. There's no mic on.
Oh, there's no mic.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Good morning. I'm Ed Kramer. I live at 134 Kanawha Drive, and I am the chair of the tree board of Montreat. And George sits on the tree board, and at our last tree board meeting, the suggestion was made that maybe I should attend one of these Landcare meetings, okay, and just to see what you guys do on behalf of Montreat. Thank you for all that you do. First, I was going to suggest to Commissioner Alexander, who isn't here, who's your representative, our representative is Commissioner Blake, that those two at some point talk about maybe incorporating the tree board as part of Landcare, not dissolve us as a tree board, but maybe, as I look at this beautiful list of all the representatives of Landcare, I think the tree board would fit very nicely into what you guys do as well. But that's up to the commissioners to decide. We're busy. We're a much smaller board than you guys. We have 5 at-large members, along with our town commissioner, Blake, representative, and the Landcare representative, George. This year, we've been very busy this past year. We facilitated for the residents tree removal and debris removal, both for the tree, of course, for access to the residents' properties, and the debris removal for the fire-wise issues. And we were able to handle maybe 3 or 5 homeowners that actually contacted us, and we facilitated helping them remove some of the debris from their property. We have a working relationship with the Swananoa Valley Tree Alliance, if you know what that is. In fact, we instituted the tree board, the Treasure Tree program in Montreat. If you take a walk around Montreat, you'll see some plaques that have been donated and dedicated for trees that were judged to be treasure trees, and all of that, what that means. And there's a walking map of those trees, and it became probably one of the most popular walking maps during the summer for visitors who go from spot to spot, and shows where the tree is, a little bit about what the tree is, and a little history of the tree. This past year, we also had a very successful, in the springtime, a very successful hemlock restoration program. We privately raised over $2,000 for treatment of about, you can speak to 125 trees. Ashley, she was in charge of the program, and we actually treated 125 town right-of-way trees, okay, from the gate to the lake. And it was so successful, we worked in conjunction with the Hemlock Restoration Society, is that correct? And we're going to continue that program next spring. There's only certain times of the year you can do that. The other thing that came out of that effort is that we all have hemlock trees on our property, and they need addressed. And we are going to make that service available to the residents. It will be for pay. The town will not be responsible for that cost, but at least we'll be able to facilitate that for the residents. In addition to that, we are finalizing plans for an Arbor Day celebration. One of our members is putting together, we have a tremendous amount of information about different species in Montreat, invasive species in Montreat, all things related to Montreat in terms of trees/shrubs. And that'll be held at the post office as an information booth. That's coming up. One of our members takes a regular inventory of our trees and works along with the Public Works Department in that effort. We are also planning a chestnut tree planting program in memory and honor of one of our most dedicated members, Brad Hester. We've already received a donation towards that effort, and we will be working along with the Chestnut Foundation in that effort. Some very exciting news, which we'll talk about in more detail, is that there is a community garden that exists in Montreat that a lot of people don't know about. It's off of Virginia Avenue. It has a town right-of-way right off of Virginia, even though it cuts through a couple neighbors' property, but it is a town right-of-way. We've cleared that with the planning director here. And the tree board has walked the property, and it's one of the few places in Montreat that does get full sun. It's already been fenced in. It's got beds already, and it's good cleanup. So there's a lot of interest at the tree board, but it's something we probably will be talking to you guys more about in terms of making a Montreat community garden really happen. But the property does exist, and it's accessible. The only other thing I want to add is we meet the second Tuesday of every month at 9 a.m. in the same room, and you guys are always welcome to attend those meetings. And once again, thank you for all that you do on behalf of Montreat.
Thank you, Ed.
Any questions?
Ashley, got any comments?
One of our esteemed members of the
Would you hand that back to Ashley?
Actually, it probably just needs to stay up there for now.
Good morning, everybody. I'll introduce myself. My name is Ashley Manson-Murat. I am a full-time resident of Montreat as of March 1st, so I'm very excited about that. My family owns 132 Virginia Road. We've owned that for over 100 years, so long-time Montreater. I got involved with the first hemlock treatment day when we did the 125 trees and went, I could do this. And I'm actually licensed in pest control in the state of Georgia, have been able to transfer my license into North Carolina for the treatment of the hemlocks. And so over this past summer, we've done a lot of research. I've worked a lot with Tanner in trying to understand what MRA is completed, talking about the trees in the ridgeline, how do we handle those. You and I probably need to talk at some point about the Hiking for Hemlocks Day to haul all that stuff up to the top of the mountain. And also we're working on getting permission to work on the Conservancy property. I've also coordinated with Margot from HRI. She is the Hemlock Restorative Initiative lead director. We have met on best practices, what needs to happen next in the valley, and really trying to look at Montreat as a comprehensive program. Working solo towns, solo Montreat, solo landowners is not really the best method. And so I'm trying to figure out how do we coordinate that across all of the entities. Excuse me. We spent the summer talking to cottagers and promoting the program and asking for donations for not only the public areas, but also trying to raise awareness for homeowners. Did a lot of work at the barbecue ticket sales and the cottager meeting. Next steps, Joe Standard and I have we have 15 trees that were unable to be treated in April because of their risk to Flat Creek. We have identified a company in North Carolina who is licensed to do the tree injections. I have managed to get him to donate his services, so that's about a $2,000 savings for those 15 trees. And he and I and Joe are planning on a meeting this month to walk all 15 trees, identify them, and then go through the process of getting those treated when the timing is right. From a biological standpoint, we want to treat between October and March. April is good too, but during the summertime, our protective beetle species are in the ground and we don't want to hurt them, and the HWA are in motion, and so it's not as productive to treat the trees during those windows of time. So going forward, I need to work with you on getting the hemlock content on the website updated. I'm going to start dripping some information out on Montreat Exchange for the cottagers and trying to get more donations in, and really working on trying to figure out what we want to do as a holistic program for the rest of the year. So are there any questions for me about any of this? Yes, sir.
You're on. I think it's on, Bill. You're on.
Okay.
You're definitely on.
Sorry. How much to adopt a tree along Flat Creek for the treatment?
That is a good question. Presently, we were able to, I think we spent $2,000 on the April. Part of the expense with the treatment of the 125 trees was paying HRI to bring in their 6 representatives, and so it was the labor and the training. Now that I have been trained, and many of the tree board folks have been trained as well, we can supervise that activity under my own license, so it will be less of expense. But we still have to figure out really the next step for us. I would love to treat more trees right away, but we're really focused on the identification of what is at risk and what is the highest need. We know what we've treated of those 125, they've been marked clearly, but there are many trees in Montreat that have not been marked, and we don't know.
Yeah, I was specifically thinking about the 15 along Flat Creek.
We've already gotten the funds for those.
Oh, okay.
They've been dedicated by this arborist who's interested in helping us treat those. So, but yes, I think an adopt a tree program through either the town or through Landcare or whatever we want to do would be a very interesting thing to kick off in the coming year. The other thing that I was really interested in looking at was a program for the clubs program at doing a Healthy Hemlocks education program for the kiddos next summer, so we can talk more about that.
I just have a curiosity question. Is there any way to assess or figure out how the beetles are doing? Are they reproducing? Are they healthy? Are they?
The college is doing annual counts. The beetles are doing great. They're just not supporting the valley. I'm not sure that another beetle release would be valuable because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're reproducing. We know they're up in the, all the way at the top of the mountain already. So, and most of them, I believe, were released along Assembly Road. So, their work is fantastic, but it's not going to sustain the valley. Any other questions? Excellent. Well, thank you for the time.
Thank you, Ashley. Okay, now to entity reports. Town of Montreat. Nobody here from the town of Montreat. MRA.
You can.
Okay. Couple of updates from the MRA. One is starting this week, you'll be seeing them doing some replanting around the gate. We're working on a master planting plan for Central Campus to get rid of non-natives and invasives and replace with natives. There's a lot there that's still good. Anything that is thriving and belongs there is going to stay. Anything else is going to be pulled out and be replaced. And so we're going to be starting with gate, and that should happen in the next couple of days. We're making progress, finally making progress on the bridges in the wilderness. The footings of Graybeard Bridge are just about done. There's still work to be done on Graybeard Bridge. That does not mean we're going to be able to open that part of the trail quite yet, but we are working with an outfit in Statesville who does trail maintenance, trail building, trail repair, and bridges. So he was here. He's come twice now. Most recently, he was here 2 weeks ago looking again at the bridges, and he should be submitting plans to us in the next, hopefully by the end of this week, for what the Harry Bryan Bridge might look like. That's the one that we had to completely remove, or, well, it was destroyed enough that we had to just take it out and are starting all over again there. But he had some good suggestions about a replacement bridge that might be more lasting. So we're waiting for his plans to see, and then hopefully later this month and into October and November, he'll be getting those bridges finalized, the work on those bridges finished. You have anything to add to that?
Yeah, kind of dovetailing into that. Once we can open Graybeard, I think we're going to have an off-season public hike up to Walker's Knob to kind of celebrate everything being reopened, and I think we're also going to have and I don't have dates for any of this because it's kind of dependent on the bridge stuff. I think we're going to have a fall fundraising dinner for the Wilderness Maintenance and Operations Fund, which is, again, to be determined on the date. But I think I think you covered all that bridge stuff.
That's exciting. Keep us posted. Look forward to it. Montreat College. As you know, we're missing a representative from the college, and I have asked Josh Holbrook to try to find a replacement for that position. I have the application right here. So as soon as I get a name from him, I will pass that application on and get that process started.
George, can that be a student?
I don't know why not. I don't know that there was anything in the rules of formation of this group that would prevent that. That's historical, and I'm not historical. I'm too new to this operation.
I think if we could find a student who wanted to sit on this board and had the time, that would be really a neat thing for us to get to participate in, and then they could.
I can suggest that to Josh, since I haven't heard from him. I was hoping to see him this morning and get an update, but.
The only thing that the bylaws don't quite state, but they imply it strongly by words that are nearby, is that the representative is appointed by the college. And the understanding is that the representative has the ability to commit college resources to a limited degree in support of joint activities in Landcare. If the college was willing to go along with that for a top-performing student, I don't see why that couldn't work.
Sure.
Would you come up?
I'm forgetting this individual's name right now, but she is the faculty member who is in charge of the environmental education program for the students who do the beetle testing for the hemlocks. I think she might be a good candidate. She's a full-time faculty member and is in the environmental field. So
Is that Abigail Leahy?
that sounds about right. I would have to look it up in my notes. I've spoken with her as well.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I think that's maybe someone we've kind of targeted for this.
My assumption is, yes, she's been targeted, and that Josh needs to follow up on it and get her approved. I guess I can go ahead and push him a little bit harder, tell him I've got the paper, let's fill it out. Beth is not doing well this morning. She reported earlier on, and she has no comments or report from the cottagers. Earth Ministry, Hal?
Nothing to report.
Okay. Gene, are you going to say anything more about Flat Creek, or are we good to go?
Yeah, there's a little bit more. I reported in our last meeting on the update meeting that our local steering committee members had with the designer, and, refreshing our energy and our stab at a timeline. We had, April Carter and I had a meet and greet with the Trail Bridge designer on the same day that he last met with MRA. And I think there will be some follow-up on some tentative design for a Flat Creek crossing bridge. And I could say more about that bridge if people are interested, but we don't have any design in hand yet. We prepared, April Carter that is, prepared a new revised design for reapplication or renewal of the special use permit. It was due to go to the Board of Adjustment on the 28th. That meeting was canceled, had nothing to do with malperformance by our team. But the next opportunity will be the meeting that is scheduled for the end of September. So that sort of builds in a little bit of delay in our timeline, but I'm not sure how ready we were anyway. We are exploring with the town in a little bit slow motion the possibility that the town crew may be able and willing to do some of the work to prepare the site for Flat Creek Crossing. If they do that, we would need to regard it as a match for fundraising purposes. So even though they're not particularly interested in coming up with charges, we still need some kind of a metric that would allow us to call it a match. That is still ongoing discussion, not fully resolved. We have connections that we need to pursue. The Pigeon River Fund coordinator has reached out to us to try to connect us with a trail surveyor. Turns out he is wheelchair-bound himself, and he is trying to get out to the world an ability to report on full trails or segments of trails that are accessible to various abilities. So there's a lot of graybeard that would probably never work for a wheelchair, but if what you're talking about is a portable carry, of which there are some wonderful pieces of equipment, even graybeard might be. So we need to get a meeting date with him, a few of us. I don't have it yet. And Adam Combs, whom we met, formerly a student of Dottie, and some of us have attended his fundraisers and his grand openings and so forth. Adam Combs will be a speaker at what turns out to be a huge conference that will be held in Cherokee on September 15th called Outdoor Economy Conference. Patty Pyle reached out to give me this connection. If anyone thinks they are interested in attending that, I can forward that email, or I can give you a piece of paper that will allow you to find it online. I did a quick look. There must be 25 or 30 speakers who will be at that conference. It's big. Outdoor Economy Conference, September 15th. So if anyone wants a reminder paper, I have them, and I think that's it for the report.
Okay, thank you. Native plant sale.
Oh, I think we've got Bill first.
Oh, did I skip one?
I wasn't going to let
Can't
you,
even
George.
read my own writing or printing here.
So, Kathy, coming in, you told me you had registered. George has registered. Jean is going to register. And I know my neighbors have registered. So, I think I have 5. But if somebody else wants to just assure that we meet the community wildlife requirements of 5 new yards being designated as wildlife habitat, backyard habitats, I can tell you how to do that. I will say, it's better not to put food out for any animal.
Right.
Just saying. All right.
Yes, sir. This is now my 4th generation of deer. They know to ask. They practically knock on the door.
As long as you feed them inside, it's okay.
Well, while we're talking about wildlife and so forth, I discovered yesterday that somebody has dug a huge nest or hole in my compost pile. And I mean, it's this big around and into the compost pile by about that much. I'm trying to figure, I'm going to put the game camera out when I get home today and find out who is nesting in my compost pile.
I doubt it's a nest. They're probably going after grubs and stuff in there, and it's probably a bear digging in.
But it's very neat. It isn't like somebody just ran in there with a big paw and just threw stuff around. It's all nicely aproned out and so forth. Beautiful. I'm hoping it's foxes, actually.
It could be.
Somebody else suggested that, but skunk holes are small. This is big. Anyway, I'm going to put the camera out today and see if I can catch somebody. Now native plant sale.
All right, well, I'm happy to report that we have 3 new volunteers on our subcommittee, including Ashley. So we expect to be able to start moving very quickly. At our last meeting, one of the things we're trying to get is a date. And after looking at everything that is occurring in our area in late April and throughout May, and then checking with MRA's availability, I think we're coming down to Saturday, April 11th is the date that we're looking. So a little earlier. We may be able, with that earlier date, to get some vendors to come out. We know that their plants won't be probably blooming and pretty, but we are looking, as we had discussed before, at various kind of mini excursions or field trips, if you will, around Montreat, highlighting fire-wise and how to keep a site safe and what should be going on. Looking for a garden close by to Moorfield that, Bill, hopefully you'd be able to take a group to show what makes this a certified yard. So I think we've got folks with really good ideas. Our next step is probably going to be renaming the event. So the focus isn't necessarily on a native plant sale, since that likely won't be the driving event. But very happy to say that we have more volunteers. So
Wonderful.
that's great. Our next meeting is September 30th here in Town Hall. So by then, hope to have a lot more to report to you.
Wonderful, thank you. Firewise, anybody have a report for Firewise?
Nancy emailed and said no report.
No report, okay.
As did Arrington, but she said it's been fairly quiet with the Bears recently.
I know Arrington's concerned about our losing our Bearwise criteria or community, and I don't know what that entails. I was hoping she'd be here today and I could find out what that means. I'll try to get in touch with her. and find out.
She may be concerned that we've had to put 2 down this year.
Yeah, but I don't know the criteria for being named a Firewise community, a Bearwise community. Something to do with reporting, but I was hoping she'd be here and I could get a clarification on that. Any more comments on the Hemlock program? It's ongoing, obviously. Children in the out of doors, kids in parks. Once again, I was telling Jason earlier, I have finally been able to piece together some of the historical background on this and who was who and who is currently who and so on and so forth. It's very confusing. It has been confusing. I have yet another box in my garage of stuff, and I took some of the stuff and replenished the kiosk the other day. I have discovered that the initiator of this was the college representative, and that the college library has the backpacks. Jason has a few of the brochures. I have a few of the brochures, and if we get to the point where this becomes a popular program again, hopefully with the new college representative who'll take this over, the brochures are very expensive. I was shocked when I saw the cost of the brochures because it's operated through the National Park Service. We are the only private non-park entity who was allowed to join this program. So that has some significance to it. I know there's a reporting effort. I haven't been able to get onto the website to find out what constitutes the reports. I read a report. It's one of these governmental statistical things. So I don't know how the numbers are generated, but anyway, it's still a work in progress. And I will hopefully be able to keep you posted on that, or hopefully the new college person will take it over and do something with it. But at least I uncovered all the myths. Assembly Inn had nothing to do with it, and the backpacks are not there. Well, anyway, long story short, I hope the new college person will take this on as part of the educational program through the college. That's my wish. Any other items of business to come before this group?
George, I was thinking if the parks trace that by the number of brochures that are picked up, that might be an easier way for us to track who's using it as a...
Jason pointed out something that I think is very interesting in that regard. And if I may, Jason, I'll speak to it. He is observed, since he's right there across from the kiosk. Those of you who don't know, the kiosk is between the nature center and the walkway up to the Montreat store. And it's fairly obvious. It's a well-done piece of information and so forth. And Jason's observation has been people who don't know anything about Montreat come in and look at it and think they're going to get the information about Montreat, and they just start taking brochures and so forth and don't do anything with them. We've discussed the possibility of putting Get Trail Maps here or something on the kiosk so that they're not picking these brochures up thinking they're getting a trail guide to the town of Montreat. So there are some problems with this, and I don't know, here again, I don't know enough of the background history other than what I've been able to piece together.
I wonder if there's not a log at the library, because that was our thought process, is you check out a backpack just like you check out a library book, right? And then you return the backpack, and so I think all of us envision that there would be some kind of checkout procedure at the library.
That might very well be. Maybe I need to take a trip to the library, check out a backpack, find out what the process is. Might be educational. I've seen the backpacks. When they first came out, I got one for my granddaughter, but she was too young to understand what was going on with it. It was more informational for me. That's been 5 or 6 years ago that I did this. So I was aware of the program from that standpoint. Any other thoughts or comments?
I will say I did a quick little Google search on the Bearwise requirements, and so apparently in order to be a community, you have to come up with some sort of plan of action to how your community is going to follow the Bearwise basics. And so I guess the concern, I don't know what the actual plan they came up with was. One thing I can imagine is trash not being secured, and we're not putting in vast quantities of new bear-proof containers. It could be anything, but I don't know what the plan says.
I think part of it was to appoint a neighborhood bear watcher so that when people saw a bear, they reported to the bear watcher, and the bear watcher put out an announcement to her particular watchees. And I think that's where it's kind of fallen apart.
Actually, the neighborhood I live in, the bear watcher does a very good job.
That's good.
She lives in the house with me, and she sends the emails out, and people send her pictures almost daily, and we share those. She shares those, and so at least for, I don't know the name of the subdivision I live in, or if it even is a subdivision, but it's up yonder, and so. At least those 3 streets are well informed when there's a bear around, and there are bears around every day.
I think that's part of the opportunity, is that there are bears in the neighborhoods every day. I find it kind of amusing to see the postings on Montreat Exchange. There's some very good pictures on the Exchange. And I don't know whether that would help us continue. I hope we can continue to be a bear-wise community. I think the signs that have been placed along the road have helped. I don't know that anybody's keeping track of the number of times the people who are responsible for pickup of trash have discovered a box here, a box there, and they jot it down that box at such and such a street was broken into, and we've had 15 boxes broken into this month or not.
But what City Council did institute a fine if you're a bear,
Yes.
if bears get into your trash,
Yeah.
and you don't clean it up immediately. So there is a fine in place, and the more we can, if we can train bears not to be dependent on humans for their food source, then we can help the bear population survive better. Because they're so dependent on human resources for their food, they have developed, like many of us, diabetes. Did you know that? The bears in Montreat, some of them have diabetes because they're eating so much sugar. And we need to limit their access to sugary cereals and stuff.
I know, I think in the last meeting or within the last couple of meetings, I asked about potential for, some placard on the public cans on how to properly latch the can.
I have sent that along with a count of how many cans we have, a picture of what, there's a can underneath the Updike building, under the awning, which has the original, that's in the best shape. It's got, and the originally when they were installed, they had directions on how to use them, a label of recycling and trash. And so I've passed that along, and it's kind of out of my hands now, but yes, we've passed that on, and that's being worked on, hopefully.
Well, last weekend, midnight, I hear this sound, this rhythmic clunk, 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 and in my, semi-dream state, I'm thinking, the dryer's on. My husband wakes me up, do you hear that sound? And I wake up and I said, there's a bear at our trash can, and I know I've latched that thing. It's, one of those clasps that go over like this when it goes in the ring. And I know I always seal that can lid down tight. And I go to my bedroom window, yell at the bear, get out of there. No, clink, 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 it's trying to get in. So I go down, I get the pot and pan lids, go out on my front porch, start banging the pot and pan lids, the bear takes off. The next morning, I went down, looked at my garbage can, and that booger almost had the latch open. I don't know what the bear was doing. I don't know if it grew opposable thumb, but this thing was, instead of like this, it was open, but like caught, just so, you had to work it. He almost had it open. So for all those people that I've been saying nasty things about, that why can't they latch these things? I don't know, maybe the bears are figuring it out.
Yeah,
I was
bears
shocked
are.
to see that.
They have the biggest brain after us as land mammals in the state.
Wow.
So.
They continue to learn. If they learn how to get this one, so you got up your game, and then they learn.
Well, one of the things that I noticed is
One of the things I noticed this summer is they learned that if you latch them just on one side, you can go to the other side and bend the whole lid over and get in. There were a couple that were done that way this summer.
Basic understanding of leverage in physics.
Right.
They're smart.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of it's trial and error, but they will try. One of the containers down below me at a neighbor's, and now they've secured it better now, but the bear finally figured out how to knock that thing off of the post that was securing it, and then spent all night rolling it around and around, up and down the road. And I kept going out there trying to run it off. And finally, it rolled it enough that it busted open. And of course, the garbage was littered all the way down.
Oh, dear.
They're smart, there's no doubt about it. If their brain's about as big as ours, maybe they're smarter than we are. Who knows? Any other comments? I just hope we don't lose our bear wise designation.
Yeah, I thought the bear magnets that explained how to be bear wise was one of the best things. I know we're out of them here, but we put one on our refrigerator. We gave them to the neighbors to put on theirs, particularly the rental properties. If we could get all of the rental properties to understand, And if the city will follow through on the fine, even for rental houses, then I think
I was
it'll
going to ask,
help.
has that fine ever been levied?
I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, any other thoughts? Entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Looks like we're adjourned. Thank you very much. Well, I guess I've got a couple of assignments.
Well, you know what? I'll reach out to Elaine too. Just if you want, just to see what you're doing. Yeah, she's pretty sick.
So you have this hemlocks in the wilderness that we've already tagged. Is that a thing you need to do?
Arranged with the town to get the downed debris away from the creek on this side. As long as I don't go in the water. So that's what these piles are. That's stuff that they would have to remove. Yes, it's helping our project because this is going to be our side door, back window, whatever. So it's benefiting the project, but it's also benefiting the city. And I don't mind doing that kind of thing. And my home just, I'll do bread sandwich. When I went up to my backyard,
Yeah, I've never
done
it and tried to do
taking
it.
it down so it becomes less
Occasionally I'll grab it.
fireworthy.
I'll check it, especially if I'm trying to teach the summer staff what you don't. It's not all it is. Yeah. Certainly it is.
Not 40 anymore.
That kind of,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Carolina hemlocks up on.
Gene, I don't know if you've looked at it.
No,
Getting pretty close to finishing up the debris removal.
I haven't been down there for a couple of weeks.
Pulled out a piece of guardrail,
Yeah.
Wow.
metal middle carton. Very good trash. Probably maybe half a dozen pieces of lumber now. I've got one that's stuck and a big tree. That one I think is going to be replaced by a chainsaw. I'm just using handsaws, shears, carrots.
Yeah.
And once again, getting rid of poison ivy. But the best thing about poison ivy, on the other side of the area that I worked on 2 years ago, I pulled 2 plants out of the other thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
You'd think there'd be a lot
Because the
more,
whole
right?
bank washed away, basically.
I think by being persistent and pulling the roots out,
Yeah.
I've got that stopped. I think these are new seedlings that are that's how it's being started.
I've got to see what poison ivy look, I mean, I know generally it's like Virginia creeper, but with 3 instead of 5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing that some people confuse with it here, which these Montreat is blessed with 2 pea plants, 2 pea vines that have their 3 leaves. Because legumes have 3 leaves.
Ah.
And it's a beautiful plant, but I have found, particularly on our site, poison ivy grows up the number. And so they separate the pea vine out, plop the
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the time that I had my really, really bad bout of poison ivy was when I was pulling English ivy up from our yard, and it was mixed in, and I
Oh,
didn't know
no.
it.
Oh, no.
is, okay.
Okay, so if I'm gonna pull vines in my yard, make sure I got long sleeves and gloves on.
Yep, long sleeves and gloves, and don't touch your face.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just learn how to use the back of your wrist and brush your nose.
Yeah.
Anyway, fun and games.
Well, and we really have to get another college.
We do. One of the things that I have found works for making one young bear leave my backyard expeditiously, I lean over the back porch rail and I bark like a dog. And it stops and it looks at me and then it meanders off.
Yes,
This has been a while.
That's a lot of
A
time.
few minutes ago, about 30 minutes ago,
we told this person.
Doe and two
Some
young
years ago.
were being chased by a dog.
If that's the thing that you.
Oh, you saw that just now?
And then a few minutes ago, one of the little fawns was out here by the hemlock, chestnut, and he's popped in through the,
It's just not one of them.
Oh.
Around their house all the time.
about as big as a dog.
Yeah. I've got two
First the
bears.
guineas and then runs around back.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not.
Yeah.
And the white doe has had one this year.
Oh, she has,
Yeah.
the other last week, she was walking down the middle of West Virginia, and she
Yeah,
didn't,
that's,
at least I didn't see you.
They don't always have fawns.
Okay, I'm gonna be.
That's right, so we'll take
Yeah, they do.
sometimes.
Leave them.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm glad she's moved to your side of the valley this year, because last year, she was in my yard every day, and my hostas just, fortunately, they came back this year.
I don't
And I
see her
have
every
enjoyed
day.
hostas this year.
But I
had
have
one
seen
deer
her more than-
encounter earlier in the year, but it wasn't her.
I have my little family that started several years ago when we spotted a doe with twins who was lame. And she was eating fallen bird seed. We don't have bird feeders anymore, but I decided she needed some help. Then her fawns grew up knowing where you could get a free breakfast if you were interested. We really are on the fourth generation now. And I put out enough that they will finish it. The crows and the squirrels will do the last of the peanuts. If the bear comes around, I bark at it.
I'll tell you that the bears will eat the acorns that are dropping now like bombs.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be hungry. I had one the other day that was almost golf ball size.
Oh, they're
Oh,
huge.
that's great.
They're huge.
That's great.
Well, I've noticed up on Graybeard and in my backyard, the bears have been digging into the yellow jacket nests all of a
That's
sudden.
Oh, they got three of mine last year that I didn't even know I had.
Retaining wall, the wooden retaining wall.
Yeah.
Not sure what exactly I'm gonna do about that, but it all needs to be replaced.
I'm glad to see them eating this stuff. I mean, that's what they should be eating. And then
Yeah.
also there's a tree, a sapling that's been broken over that it was obvious that a bear was at it. And I thought, what? There aren't berries on it. I thought, what was it going after? Well, I saw this video of a bear doing the same thing. It was going up to get cicadas out of the
They would
tree.
be pretty nutritious. Yeah,
Protein on the fly.
Sure.
yeah.
Delish.
Eat them. All right.